great good work. Now, mentioning the Apocrypha, those 400 plus years between Malachi and John the Baptist, those writings, the reason why we don't include them in the Scriptures is because the Roman Catholic Church didn't officially include them until it was the Council of Trent, 1560s. So they didn't officially include them in their Scriptures until the Protestant Reformation. And they were writing against the Protestants and said, no, the Apocrypha is Scripture. But the Jews who authored those books did not include them in their Hebrew Bible. So even the authors of those intertestamental writings did not include them in their authoritative Scriptures. The second thing is that it contains clear factual errors, theological errors. It's actually part of where Roman Catholicism gets their doing Mass on behalf of the dead, the atonement for the dead. It's in 2 Maccabees 12, 43 through 45. The fourth thing is that there are debatable allusions or mentions of apocryphal stories in the New Testament, like the book of Jude mentions some. But it never uses phrases like the Scripture says. Not only that, but Jesus, when he mentions, there's a time when he's talking to the Pharisees and he says, I'm going to require of this generation from the blood of Abel to the blood of Zechariah. And what he's referencing is, Abel was, of course, killed in Genesis. Zechariah was killed in 2 Chronicles, which the Hebrew Bible is ordered differently than our Bible, than our Old Testament. It's the same books, but it starts in Genesis and it ends in 2 Chronicles. So Jesus is saying the blood from the beginning of the Hebrew Bible to the end of the Hebrew Bible, I'm going to require of this generation. And the reason why that's important is because he doesn't include the Apocrypha in there. He also, there's another reference where he mentions the writings, he mentions the law, the what? The prophets and the writings, which the three divisions of the Hebrew Bible, and the Apocrypha is not included. So those reasons and the reasons already mentioned is why we don't accept the Apocrypha as Scripture. And there are things difficult to explain in the New Testament and the Old Testament, but there are no contradictions. There are paradoxes which may appear to be contradictory, but in the Apocrypha there are actual contradictions. This isn't appears contradictory, this is actual contradictions.